Alright, y'all. I got a very special one today. I did a video earlier, Happy Death Day Part 1. I did a shout out with my son, so check that video out. But this is the basically bonus content of the day. And you seen the thumbnail, you know what it is. I'm gonna look at the notes real quick and then I'm gonna go. Shutter Island came out in 2010. It had a budget of 80 million, which is a very high budget, but they, you know what I'm saying, made a lot of money back with 249 million at the box office. This, in my opinion, has a 5-star cast. It's carried by Leonardo DiCaprio playing Teddy Daniels, the Incredible Hulk fame MCU character Mark Ruffalo is Chuck All. The legendary Ben Kingsley is Dr. John Crawley. And Michelle Williams is Dolores Chanel. It got a small little cameo with Tommy from Power. And it got Max von Sydow as Dr. Noorang. This is basically Leonardo DiCaprio and Mark Ruffalo is Teddy and Chuck. They are basically U.S. Marshals. U.S. Marshals. They head into Ashcliff Hospital of the criminally insane. They head in there because there's been a lot of suspicious killings of the inmates and no reports of it. Family members been trying to go see him and they didn't find out about the death till after the fact. Just very suspicious circumstances. So the government send these two marshals over there. Now, Leonardo DiCaprio character is a tortured soul in this. This is basically, in my opinion, a little bit of, I don't want to go sci-fi horror, but it got a little bit of paranormal multi-personality type of horror. It's great. It got a gothic type of psychiatric feel about it, in my opinion. So, as the movie start, Leonardo DiCaprio and Mark Ruffalo character, who I said it is, Teddy and Chuck are heading. They basically like in, I think, the Boston Harbor, and I'm talking about they traveling over the little Boston Harbor to get to the criminally insane asylum, Ashcliff. And the opening scene with the gloomy ass clouds of the mist of the water in the ocean, it's dark, and I'm talking about the look of the film, the cinematography, the directing. I mean, this is Scorsese. Enough said. Everything about this looked great. The opening scene, you see Teddy Daniels, which is Leonardo DiCaprio, he basically is getting seasick at the beginning of the movie because they crossing the ocean. And that's going to play a pivotal part. So as they get to the island, that's when they meet Ben Kingsley's character, the doctors. They ingratiate themselves to the staff and the patients who they going to be, questioning and dealing with for the time being. The movie instantly start showing you character traits of the doctors. It has you to believe the doctors are standoffish and hiding stuff and not really participating in the crimes that's supposedly committed at this insane asylum. So they real not want to give paperwork up. They making sure he got all the search warrants to interview certain inmates. And I mean, the setup is brilliant. And I'm looking at this like, it make you think the doctors, let me go back to them. We got Dr. John Crawley is Kingsley's character, and Dr. Noorang is Max Vaughn. They are like the two head doctors of the asylum. So they real suspicious of Leonardo and Mark Ruffalo's character. So as the movie start playing out, you start seeing horrific things, like the orderlies are talking, and they ain't talking suspicious, but they everything is crazy here. Woo woo woo. They can't really give you a view of what's going on because it's like they in the dark of what's really happening. They just come to their 9 to 5 and go home, basically. They got a trolley that takes the inmates, takes the the visitors across the river to get, you know what I'm saying, to the basically the harbor is where all of the civilization of Boston is. This is like in a like Alcatraz from San Francisco in a way. This is out the way in Boston. Real creepy. The aesthetics of the building for the asylum look great. It got like the roof is all like mold, not mold, but mulches and like grassy. Like it looked great. The movie, the asylum, dirty. It got like dungeons with the craziest of the crazies. Like he started going through like stages of insanity being here just on a natural. He approached, this is PTSD. Let me say something about Leonardo DiCaprio's character. He was a relief soldier in the World War II Holocaust, meaning when the U.S. and all our allied powers won the war and started going to concentration camps across the countries, he was one of the army men relieving those, meaning he saw how all the Jews and all the prisoners of war was looking, the decrepit conditions of the war and the crimes of war crimes basically. He also had a situation where they went to one concentration camp and they had to gun down Nazis because they didn't want to resist, and they didn't want to, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? They didn't want to wave the white flag and, you know what I'm saying, give up their weapons. So it was like a massacre. He had visions of that throughout the movie. And he also keep having extremely terrifying migraines throughout the movie. Look back at the notes real quick. Michelle Williams is Dolores Chanel, that's like his wife. He keep having visions of her through the movie. It's giving you small nuggets of his backstory through that, but this is one of the movies where it's like a super duper reveal at the end, which is, before I get to the end, spoilers for Shutter Island if you haven't seen it. It's 12 years old, but still, some people may not have seen it. This is a great movie, so spoilers, because I'm getting into real spoiler territory now, even though I should have been said it at the very beginning. As the movie progressing, he started meeting inmates, talking to them, finding out horrible things that the doctors have been doing to the inmates who basically not compliant to the rules. And if they view a criminally insane patient as too unstable, they got a lighthouse in the back where they lobotomize the person, and it is terrifying. I'm talking about the visuals, the insane asylum, the dark gloomy rooms where sometimes he just got a match, sometimes he got a little flashlight, a little one, not the big ones the cops be having. So it's real dark, gloomy. A mental asylum is always a great place, or a vampire's castle in Transylvania. Them are always great aesthetics for a horror movie. And this movie ain't a natural horror movie where it's like a poltergeist or a slasher. It's not a bunch of jump scares. It's some scary moments. Like he meeting with one of the people that they said died that he been investigating. He going through so many, you know what I'm saying, steps to find her. She waited and trying to escape. She like on a rock cliff. He spot her with the binoculars. He go by her, start talking to her. They start talking all kind of crazy shit like, you never know what's in the mind. Who can say if you insane? Who's the person who knows if what is sanity? Like, it make you think about all this shit that they saying, and when it end, it really makes sense. When I say a movie rewatchability ain't always the key to how good the movie is, but what makes it great is the rewatchability. This is where this movie gets a 10 on rewatchability, because you gotta go back and rewatch everything you heard, all the dialogues that you done went through to like, oh, now it make more sense. And I'm gonna get to that now. As Leonardo DiCaprio going through all the investigations throughout the movie, he comes to the conclusion after he finds the girl, after she give him her exposition, she jumps off the cliff and die. We see an orderly who was giving him information die. So now he see the doctors are physically killing people who are helping me solve the case of the mysterious murders that they are accused of. So when he go down and see a cop dead, he grabs the gun. Now he finna go to the doctor's office. Let me look at the notes one more time. I can't remember it. Dr. Crawley's office, being Kinsley. He go to his office with the rifle, and that's when I swear to God, the movie break down to a level that I cannot explain with words. My jaw was on the fucking floor. When he walks in with the rifle, he just starts spitting out, I know what you've been doing. I talked to these orderlies. I talked to this person. I talked to that person. And that's when Dr. Crawley stands up and like, listen. He brings out a pad of paper and shows it to him. Now we see the exposition of why he got the headaches, why he hate water, why he have nightmares. What happens is Leonardo DiCaprio is suffering from multiple personalities, like multiple Malcolm and Chucky, the Chucky movie, Code of Chucky. So Leonardo DiCaprio is seeing himself as Teddy Daniels, a war hero / U.S. Marshal, but he really Andrew Latis. Andrew Latis is a cop who killed his wife because she was suffering from the migraines that he had because she had like a brain tumor or something. Throughout all of his working, she never got the help she needed. This is similar to the Inception character, now that I think about it, with Leonardo DiCaprio. His wives be loony. So his wife has so many head problems and tumors, she drowned the kids in the bayou. They lived in the back of a bayou, I think in Louisiana. So when he come home from a month-long shift, she's sitting there comatose, and the 3 children are floating in the pond. The music, the sadness, the crying, the tears, the acting, a 10 out of 10. Leonardo DiCaprio, one of my favorite actors of all time, by the way, if you didn't know. When he picked the kids up out the lake, they clearly dead. He just let out a burst of Goku anger. He bringing the kids ashore, sit them on the bank. He's stroking their head. He in shock. He come to his wife. He's shaking her up like, why did you do this? She like, I told you. I couldn't handle him. She comatose. She lost it. He pulls out the little revolver. Bah! Shoots her. Now she dies. That's where all of his PTSD from his war, his life, being a cop, the kid's death, murdering his wife, the multiple personalities invested itself into his consciousness to a point where he the most dangerous patient. It's been throughout the movie, it's been a running joke of, it's like, I don't know the exact number. It's like 999 patients. Patient 1000 is the most dangerous, but that's the patient that's missing. He never figures it out. He's that patient, basically patient 0. So when the Dr. Crawley's showing him all of this, you killed your wife. We played along. The whole movie is a subversion. We've been seeing this through his multiple personality of Teddy Daniels, when really he always been Andrew Latis. This wasn't a trick you on purpose or fuck your mind up just to get a good. This wasn't no Shyamalan bullshit. This was Scorsese at his best. It wasn't no clickbait or no bullshit. This was brilliant subversion at its highest level to me. And I'm talking about, it's a Batman line at the end of this movie where when he realized he talking to the doctor, Mark Ruffalo, he looked at him as his partner in his multiple personalities. But in reality, that's the head doctor that's been treating him. He went to Dr. Crawley and Niang and told them, I think we need to play along with his delusion for one last time to see if we can get him out of it. So when he come in with the rifle and they expose all the truth to him, he see his partner, who he thought of his partner as his doctor, not dressed up as a U.S. Marshal. He dressed up as a doctor. So once they calm him down, sedate him, he get it like, damn. They have a talk with him. The doctor and Ruffalo and Leonardo. He like, yeah, man, I had to do it. You was on the edge. You was on the verge of losing it. I had to try my last ditch effort to play along with you and see if that could psychologically you could touch a button and see something. But now it got to the point where I see you just lost and you wasn't gonna come back. So we had to trick you into going along with it. Because when he was pointing the gun, he tried to shoot it. It wouldn't go. He like, it's not a real gun. He broke it and realized they broke his illusion. It's like the Inception mindset. When he stopped the spinner top and told his wife, no, this is the real life, she couldn't take it. That's how his mind mentally broke down. So the next morning, he's smoking a cigarette next to his doctor, Ruffalo. Chuck is his name. He's sitting there talking to him. Let me hit that again. He's sitting there talking to him like, man, they just shooting the shit. Like, yeah, woo woo. We got to do what we got to do day by day. I'm glad you came out of it, but this is what it is. So this is when the chilling scene of the movie happened. Leonardo DiCaprio stands up and he looks at Mark Ruffalo. And he tell him, you rather live as a monster or die as a good man. And then he walking off with the orderlies to go to the lighthouse and be lobotomized forever to never have a mind. When it ended on that note, it reminded me slightly of the Batman line that Harvey Dent said at the dinner when he said, you either die a hero or you live long enough to be a villain. That was fucking bars. But in Shutter Island, would you want to live as a monster or die as a good man? It made me think. You want to live 80 years as a monster, a mean motherfucker, or 25 years as a saint? Martin Luther King type shit. That's a question. A lot of motherfuckers will take the evilness. I'll take 80 years of being evil and dislike than 25 years of being glorified and loved. That's how some motherfuckers will take, flat out. But man, how he ain't going to the lighthouse, finna get lobotomized. He'd never have his thoughts of his wife, his kids. He'd never have the multiple personalities. He just gonna be a vegetable. This movie right here, it gets my highest esteem. I'm not finna cap. This movie is a 10 for me. The acting, the story, the message, the criminally insane, the way it make you think. It's scary just on that aspect. It's creepy scary to me. Like, it makes you think, who did make Insanity? And if you know about psychopaths, sociopaths, the difference between those things, I ain't a doctor, so I don't know all about them. I just can Google and then see the distinct differences. But the point I'm making is, if everybody was insane and you was the only one sane, you would be the oddball. And it's the reverse of being sane and insane. It's just so much to think about with this movie. This movie is an iconic, legendary, classic movie, and it gets my highest esteem, 10 out of 10. I don't throw 10s around. I like to stick between 5 and 7s. 8 if it's real good. 10 to me is just a movie that I personally love, and I can't even say nothing else but Zeezzy the King. Like and subscribe. Add me on Facebook, Zach King, Zeezzy, and I'm out. Your favorite horror channel, Horror Channel.